Going on, guys? Pilo Trades here. Hey, like I said in one of my previous videos, right? Crazy week in the portfolio, crazy week in politics, crazy week in the stock market, right? Now, whether we stand on the right, on the left, or right in the middle, we must adjust, take this and adjust how we invest, right? How the portfolio is going to behave. Now, in this M1 portfolio, we're letting the algorithm dictate what's going to buy based on the guidelines that we give it. And those guidelines are not only the stocks or ETFs that we pick, but the percentages of what we want the portfolio to adjust accordingly. Nonetheless though, although I don't take a stand, or at least I don't want to make this into a political channel and take a stand here, I do want to say that if we based any type of predictions or futuristic outlook on what the portfolio is going to do, or what all the portfolios are going to do, if we base any of that on how they've done this last week, I mean, we're in for a wild run, right? The gains were phenomenal, and that is all I'm going to say. So with that being said, let's take a look at what the M1 portfolio did for this past week when it comes to some of the executions on the buys and some of the dividends. Without further ado, let's get into it. So right off the bat, this portfolio is at $26,165.51. We're up 35.64%. Now, as you can see, specifically on the different pies, we are, with the cover calls pies, we are up 52.11%. Lazy pie is up 35.23%. Weekly dividend pie is up 51.14%. And the REIT pie is up 17.73%. So again, it was a crazy week. So let's just knock them out one by one, right? So right off the bat, we had the rewards redemption on November 4th. That was for 49.56. Remember, with my M1 account, I do use their credit card. So whenever I get any type of cashback rewards type of thing, I elect to have those rewards go straight into the portfolio at the end of the month. So for the month of October, we collected $49.56. Now that rewards redemption on top of that weekly deposit that we do for $50 is what the portfolio did to do the execution or the buys for November 4th. Now, the only thing that I did not like is that it took it as two separate buys. Now, I think it did that because even though the rewards came in on November 4th, I think it took longer in the day for those funds to be fully deposited or cleared. And so it didn't really get tacked on to that normal deposit that we do every week. That deposit that we do every week usually kicks in the morning whenever market open. And that's why you see those two buys on November 4th, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So for the morning trading, it looks like the algorithm bought some EXR, some Vici, one of my favorite ones, American Tower Corp, another one of my favorite ones, EPR, ARE, HTGC, and MPW. It looks like it bought all REITs. And for the afternoon buy, it bought just about the same ones, with the exception of VUG and VYM, which are Vanguard ETFs. Now, the next one on the list is that morning trading on November 6th, and that was for 11 buys for $200.13. Now, if you remember correctly, that's the morning after the election results, and that's when I realized, you know what, election results are in. We're going to go ahead and release some of the funds that we've been saving on our brokerage account so that the algorithm can see where it's going to allocate that. And obviously, with more funds available, the algorithm is going to buy a lot more stuff, and this is what it bought. Kicked off with some more MPW, EXR, ARE, SVOL, which is a great one, more American Tower Corp, more EPR, SPY-I, another great one, HTGC, and some more VUG. And it also bought some Vici and some WiMAX. Now, if we continue to look at the history on what the algorithm did or what the portfolio did, we go into November 8th, which is when all the dividends kicked in. And so we had some IWMY for $5.27, some WiMAX kicking in with $6.70, some more IWMY with 29 cents, XDTE 462, QDTE 697. Now remember, when I do these updates and you see those withdrawals in the red numbers, that is not a withdrawal that I'm doing personally into like any of my other accounts, or I'm not withdrawing that money to like spend it per se. Remember, for the last couple of months, I've been telling the portfolio that any dividends that we get, instead of reinvesting it back into the market where the market is at all-time highs before elections, I wanted this to go into the savings to take advantage of those high interest or high yielding high interest in my high yielding savings account. But now that we have the election results, I'm going to go back, look at the portfolio, and highly consider whether or not I'm going to be doing that, or if I want this to switch it up how I had it before that, where all my dividends will get reinvested back into the market. And with that being said, I just want to point out this is not financial advice, right? I'm not a financial expert. I'm just a guy on social media that loves dividend investing. Now again, this portfolio looks like it has $26,165.51, right? So our net cash flow is $24,049.18 with a market gain of $2,116.33. Now, when you pair that market gain, right, with some of our dividends, which comes out to $2,971.72, you get a total gain of $5,088.05. Giving us this portfolio an 11.20%. Expense ratio is a little bit high, 0.37% with 33 holdings. But as I mentioned in all my videos, I am okay with that because that dividend yield is kind of high. Now, even though that I released some of those funds so that they can get invested, pretty much in relation to the election results, I still have a cash or buying power of $1,505.05. Sorry, I can't talk right now. And whether or not I'm going to release those funds soon or maybe later, I think I'm going to hold on a little bit. Even though the market, this last week, which is pretty much only like 3 or 4 days of market action after the elections, I still want to see more. I want to see more action in the market, right? I want to see how the market behaves even more for a longer time before, I decide whether or not to release, all of it or some of these funds. Regardless though, remember to continue to dollar cost average, continue to invest, right? It is important to continue doing that, especially in times of uncertainty, kind of uncertainty right now, not as much as pre-election, but nonetheless, the market could drop tomorrow or next market open day. And so if there's any advice that I would give that's not, intentionally market advice or investing advice, yet it is unprofessional advice, I should say. It is, again, to continue dollar cost averaging, continue investing, right? No matter what the results of this election were, whether you're in favor or against of them, continue doing that, right? The market, whether it drops or it continues to go up, the market will always pay out. So until next one, take care.